Good morning, everybody. It's nice to see all your faces on here. I think we've still got some people checking in, but it is 10 a.m., so we are going to get started. My name is Laura Takasaki. I'm from Imagine That Events. We are the co-producers of our show today. We want to welcome you to our sneak peek event for the Gratitude and Appreciation Summit. We are so excited to finally be here and have this up and running and to share it with all of you today. I just wanted to let you know that we will be recording, so hopefully you guys are all okay with that. Just please, send us a message in the chat if there's an issue with that. And we will take a couple of pictures so we can share them on social media and just show them show all of your faces that showed up today. It shows up really tiny, but it's just fun to show everybody who all showed up today. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to introduce you to one of our co-founders, Jeanette Martin of the Gratitude and Appreciation Summit.
Good morning, everyone. And as Laura said, we are so excited that this has now come to a reality. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Karen Moraes. She is going to be giving us our Indigenous blessing this morning.
Thank you, Jeanette. I just want to make sure it's on me. Has it switched over? Good morning. My Tsimshian name is Madam, which means snow. My English name is Karen Moraes. I am Tsimshian, Haida, and Yupik. I am Ganhada from the Raven Clan, House of Gwishkubakwada, which is Killer Whale. I am from the Giltwikut tribe of Lakwalams, also known as Port Simpson. Nada Willawan, de Kanish Nutsum, Am Amagot, de Wilt Nitsni. How are you all? We are happy to see you. Welcome to the first Gratitude and Appreciation Summit. I was asked here by my good friend Jeanette Martin to welcome you all. I would like to thank the Kwantlen, Katzie, Matsqui, and Semiahmoo people on whose unceded traditional tribal territory we are on today. I look forward to these seminar previews we are offering, and I know you will too. Dim Alkiknitsen, we'll see you again, as we never say goodbye. To my Haida people, I say Hawa. To Tsimshian, Toyitsut Nutsum, and to everyone else, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Karen, for that blessing. I so appreciate my relationship that I have with you. During our seminar today, we encourage you to ask any questions in the chat box. If you have a question for one of our speakers, Cheryl or Angus, please qualify the question saying Cheryl and whatever you want to ask. If you have any questions about the summit in general, we encourage you to put it into the chat. To introduce myself again, I am Jeanette Martin, and this day is a dream come true. I am so grateful to Kathy Fester for giving me an incredible book for my birthday last year. And it was the book called The Power of Human Connections. It was written by a man, Cody Bateman, And he had a vision, or what he likes to call a prompting, to create a system to show kindness and appreciation to the world. And I read this book in one day. And his words mirrored my words, my life, and how I live my life. I am so grateful for the people that came on to this the summit today, to the people in the background as we are putting this summit together, to incredible people in our community and what they do to make my life better and how I can make other people's lives better. So the evolution of the Gratitude and Appreciation Summits, I went to a visualization seminar put on by my good friends, Erin Sully, who is a coach to help people get better with themselves and really get clear, and Frida Lombard, Zealous Art. And I want to show you what this vision looked like. And in these uncertain times and the now of today, it is so relevant. So it's going to be backwards to you. And I just wanted to share with you what a vision looks like and what a reality looks like. If you see across the top of the page, you'll see a bunch of different hearts, different colored of hearts. I wanted to bring together a group of people from locally, British Columbia, Canada, the world, to share their story on how they use gratitude and appreciation as their foundation. And it's come true, and it's so incredible. And with that, I want to springboard into a very important word in our life that tends to get overused or misused. And that word, as you can see in the background, I have this Scrabble board with the word thanks or thank you. Thank you is the root of how you express gratitude to someone, or when you are feeling grateful, to being able to say thank you. It instigates your welcome back. And I don't know if you know the science connected to that word. It's called dopamine. It's when you say that word, it kicks the dopamine in our heads, which is a feel-good hormone to make us feel good, stand taller, and want to get that feeling again. And when that person says you're welcome, it kicks the next hormone called adrenaline to put into action for you to want to say that word and to receive that as again. And I say that because those of you that know me, I have a business, My BC Consulting, and I teach people on how to use gratitude and appreciation on the social media platforms. And I want you to realize and to take away and how this can change your life, your business, and the community is recognizing when someone gives you a heart, a thumbs up on one of your social media posts, they gave you a piece of themselves. The dopamine kicked in their head to push that adrenaline for them to pick up their arm and physically tap that screen on behalf of you. That's how the world is showing thank you to you. And now how are you showing thank you to them? So in the fall, when I'm able to speak a lot longer about how I use gratitude and appreciation in my business, I will be letting you know how you can do that. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you our next speaker. And I lost my piece of paper. Oh my goodness, what did I do with my piece of paper? Cheryl Bishop. Oh, excuse me one moment. I lost my piece of paper. How can you tell this is live? Well, I'm going to speak from what I know about Cheryl. Cheryl Bishop has helped people for many years, 14 years in business, was in the banking industry. She went on to be in the direct sales marketing business and has led many women in business. The name of her business is Resilient Women in Business. And I have heard her say this to me as well as to a group of people. It is your birthright to be successful. So thank you, Cheryl, for joining us today.
Thank you, Jeanette, for the introduction. I am so happy to be here. And oh gosh, this is so exciting. What a pivot moment right now is that people are here, and this is the first gratitude and appreciation. And thank you for the love, Monica. I just saw that in the chat, so I'm so grateful to be here. Now I only have limited time for you, so I've got a few things I want to share with you. I'm very excited for today, and we all can be more grateful. So it's not happiness that brings us gratitude. It's actually gratitude that brings us happiness. And when we really understand that, it can really shift our world as we know it. Many of you here may have heard the famous saying, life is 10% of what happens, 90% of how you react to it is most important. In life, attitude is everything, everything. It is what shapes our beliefs and our desires. Do harsh times happen to all of us? Yes. Life has its ups and downs, peaks and valleys. They do occur through our lives, but it's up to us how we interpret them on what's happening. Are things happening to us, or are things happening for us? That's quite different. You see, Resilient Women in Business was built on something that happened, but it actually happened for me to create Resilient Women in Business. We can always be in control of our emotions despite any given situation. It just takes practice in being aware of our emotions. What we focus on expands, good or bad. You know, have you ever experienced when you look out for a car and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to get a white Mazda car in 2020, and this is the model I want, and you get it, and then all of a sudden you see them all over the road? Yes, that's because what we focus on expands. The more we focus on being grateful, the more our hearts can get full of gratitude. Gratitude. How I built Resilient Women in Business with a grateful heart. Honestly, it took my lifetime so far to get me here. I had to learn in my life how to be grateful throughout my life, just like all of us do. I remember in high school, in grade 11, I was so shy in my younger years. And sometimes when I look back at myself, it's like, wow, I was so shy. And honestly, I thought that's what I was supposed to be or who I was. But I was dating this gentleman, and I'll never forget when he asked me, he said to me, Cheryl, why is it so hard for you to say thank you? I really had to think about that. Why is it so hard for me to say thank you? Is it how I grew up? I didn't really have a good answer for him. But that was the moment, a pivot moment for me that I never forgot, as it got me to start looking at my life and who I was being in my life. At that moment, I decided to start focusing on saying thank you more and working on actually meaning it, where it was coming from my heart space, not my head space. So what I mean by that, we can easily go, oh, thanks, poof, and not mean it, or we can go, thank you, and take that moment to really feel the gratitude. The difference in saying the words versus meaning it from your heart. Then I was 30 and I was working with a gentleman that taught me a lot. He had studied psychology, and we talked about life many, many times. And he taught me to look at life in a different way and look at life as a gift. You see, back then, I looked at life differently. I looked at life as an everyday event. We work, we have fun, we go to bed, and then we do it all over again the next day. At that time, I didn't really look at life in the gratitude and appreciation way. Today, in the last 10 years, I lived my life as if a little boy or a little girl's watching me. And I'm going to share a little story how that became about. I have 2 boys now, they're 19 and 22, but when they were about 7 years old, they wanted to have a garage sale. And it was summertime, and I said, okay, they wanted to sell all their toys that they started outgrowing. And I said, okay, boys, let's sit down and talk about how this is going to work. What's going to happen is both of you are going to work the garage sale. Now, if a friend comes over, that does not mean you leave the garage sale and you can go play. It is not my responsibility to do the garage sale for you boys. So I made it clear, we all agreed that no, we got to be out there. I said, I will be there for support for you. And I will have some change so that anybody needs change, I will take care of that part for you. But mostly I'll be in the house, but still have the front door open so I know exactly what's going on. So here's what happened. Parker's little boy, Cal, came over. And Parker's little boy, a little friend, I should say, Parker's little friend named Cal, this little boy wanted to play with Parker. So I said, Parker, the only thing he can do is perhaps work the garage sale. Why don't we set up a lemonade stand? And Cal can man the lemonade stand. So the boys were excited about that. So we put a little table out there and all of that. And I was deciding, what am I going to cook for dinner? And I thought, oh, it's beautiful, sunny. I'm going to run out and go get some steaks. So I run out my front door to go to the grocery store and get some steaks. And I see my oldest son's bike leaning against the passenger side of my car door. And I'm like, I gotta move that bike. So I'm running out the driveway, and all of a sudden my neighbor calls me over as I'm running out the driveway. So I go across to her place, and now I'm standing in her driveway for 20 minutes talking to Bonnie. And then I said, Bonnie, I gotta go to the grocery store. So now I'm on her side of the driveway, which leads me to my driver's side of my car. So I leave Bonnie and say, see you later, I gotta go. I jump into my car. I turn my car on, I put it in reverse, and I hear this not such good noise, like crunch. And I say to myself, oh, I forgot to move Fraser's bike. I get out of my car and I walk around and I look on the passenger side. My whole front fender separated. Now, all 3 boys are looking at me. I looked at my car and I went, dang. And I turned around to the boys, and Cal's little face, his jaw dropped down to the driveway. And he said to me, wow, aren't you going to get angry? Aren't you like going to kick the tire and kick your car? And swear and curse? Like he was shocked. And I said to this little boy, Cal, it's not going to serve me well if I get angry. I'm just thankful it didn't happen on the road, like it happened right in my driveway. And that little boy's mind, see, he came from a family that it was anger, anger, anger. He didn't see anybody not freak out on something. Now that moment was when I decided to live my life as if a little boy or a little girl is watching me, and that I come from a place of love, because I don't know the ripple effect. Just like that little boy, my reaction gave him a whole new perspective on how to look at life. That was an amazing moment. So think about that for your life. How are we going about life with gratitude? Being grateful can change how we feel about life, how we do life, how we show up in life. Being grateful can assist our immune system alone. Our immune system, our stress level, and so much more. There's so many studies out there that they've done on what being grateful and feeling grateful and living in gratitude can do for our lives. Research, as some of what you may know, still explores on how gratitude works to improve our mental health. This is huge. There has been many studies in the past on well-functioning people, how they are doing more studies in those people's lives. Now they're converting it to the people that have mental health concerns. Actually, there was a study in 2017. What they did is with 300 people that were seeking mental health counseling. They decided to look at all those 300 and they broke them into 3 different groups. The first group of 100 people were instructed to write 1 letter of gratitude to another person every week for only 3 weeks. The first group. The second group was to write about their deepest thoughts and feelings about the negativity they're experiencing right now. The third group didn't write anything at all. What did they find? Fascinating. Those who wrote gratitude letters reported significant better mental health even 12 weeks after they were doing the writing exercise. They only did the exercise for 3 weeks. 12 weeks after them doing the exercise, they experienced significant better mental health. And here's the kicker. Only 23 of those out of the 100 actually sent the letters. That tells you it's not sending the letter, it's writing the letter, being grateful. Grateful people tend to feel good, do better in life. They are more forgiving. There's so much to learn. What can grateful do for us? It can actually unshackle us from toxic emotions. It can actually relieve us from the negativity in our world and the negative emotions we feel as a human being. I do many mastermind groups with women, and one just shared a story the other week with me that I just thought, I want to share it with you. She's been in my mastermind group for three months. And I teach a lot about the thoughts, a lot about what's going on up here, because the foundation of every human being's success is what we're thinking to ourselves and others. So she shared with me that her and her husband had to go up to their cabin because they had an emergency. And on their way up there, in the middle of nowhere, their truck breaks down. Well, in the past, she would have freaked out. She would have been stressed, freaked out, what would have happened with her husband? He would have been freaking out, stressed. That's what happens. It's like when you hear somebody laugh, it's contagious. It goes the same way when we're stressed and upset. It's contagious. Well, she called me or emailed me to let me know. She just went, okay, there's nothing I can do. This is what it is. And her husband actually made a comment and went, when we live in a it takes practice. Gratitude has a lasting effect on our brain to be grateful for. Think about that for your life. And you can be grateful just by you getting up in the morning and looking at yourself in the mirror, in your soul's eye, your left eye, and saying, thank you for taking me on this life, this journey called life. Thank you for that. Take partnership with who you are to be grateful for you. I believe that in the headspace is where blame and victim and anger and, oh my gosh, all these selfishness comes from here. And in here is where gratefulness lives. Humble love. The soul seeks to serve others. The soul does not seek to serve itself. The more you're grateful and the more you live in gratitude and appreciation, your heart grows. Your heart gets warm. Now, for some, is it easy? No, maybe not. Maybe we've had a certain life. Maybe circumstances have sent us sideways. But can you Can you do it? Yes, you can. Again, it takes practice every day. It takes those moments that you have to correct yourself and go, my gosh, every moment when we are having a bad day, or you are having a bad day, remember there is somebody on this planet having a worse day than you. There are a lot of devastation things in our planet and that are in people's lives right now. So if you can do anything is just say, I'm thankful that I live in Canada, or I live in my country, wherever you're from. I'm thankful I have a roof over my head. You have a home. You're thankful that you have a family, whatever it is. You're thankful that if you have 2 feet, that you have 2 feet. You're thankful that if you can see, that you can see. Through the power of gratitude, you can wire your brain to be optimistic and compassionate, making you feel good. The more you look, you can find to be grateful for. This positively can extend those around you. You know, that's what I notice in my life with Resilient Women. My gratefulness, I can share it on to so many others. And that's how we all learn. We learn from each other. Specialized knowledge. If any of you have never read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, I'd highly recommend it. It's such a fantastic book. That we learn off each other all the time. In times of hardship or stress, it might seem difficult to be grateful. But again, when you really think about it, we all have something to be grateful for. Even if you just engage with looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, thank you for being me. Thank you for being you. There are so many different levels of gratitude, actually. There's the gratitude that stays up here, and then there's the gratitude that really fills your heart. If you want to know how to be more grateful, or how for your heart to blossom like it's coming out of your chest and you have so much love for everybody you meet, it's becoming more grateful and appreciation for everything you have. That's how you get there. That's how it happens. Oprah did I saw her have a quote, and I want to share it with you. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. When you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. And this is so true. I hear people all the time. I don't have enough money. I didn't do this. Oh, my car, I don't have, or I didn't do. Well, what do you have and what did you do? The more you focus on the positive, it becomes easier to be thankful. The more we focus on the negative, it's harder for us to be thankful. So think about that for your life. Think about having appreciation, gratitude for everybody in your life, your neighbors, your children, your spouse, whoever that is in your life. Being grateful is a way of being. Now, I'm grateful that I was gifted the business, Resilient Women in Business. I didn't create it. It came from for me, my language is God. If that's not your language, turn it into whatever you want to. But for me, that's where it came from. I had an experience in my life where I could have been the victim, that this is happening to me and it's not fair and all of this. But I chose not to be the victim. I chose to say, why is this happening? What is it I'm not listening to? Where is it I need to be? And I heard one word, resilient, over and over and over again, which turned into resilient. Now that situation, I won't get into the details because I don't have enough time, but that situation involved a gentleman where I actually sent him a gratitude card. I said to him, if you didn't do what you did, I wouldn't have started Resilient Women in Business. Now, it was devastating for me at the time, but I still thanked him because I believe in being grateful for every moment and every day and what I do. And I encourage you to be grateful for every little thing. Start small. Start small. You have food in front of you. Be grateful that somebody packaged that food or somebody made that food Today we're so busy on our phones and looking and, oh yeah, thanks. Look into somebody's eye and say thank you for being you. I want to leave you with that. Mwah. Have great gratitude in your heart every day, and you will live a different life. Thank you for all being here. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'm grateful for you.
Wow, thank you, Cheryl. I'm just gonna honestly, I was breaking up there in some tears. At the beginning, my main thing is it's so true about that thank you. I used to always do my emails, and I own an event planning company. At the end, I'd be like, thanks, see you later, thanks. Now I actually every single time I'm like, no, it's thank you, because it just makes a huge difference. Honestly, that was amazing, Cheryl. Thank you so much. Next up, I'd like to introduce you to our other co-founder, Kathy Fester.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so nervous and excited at the same time. This has been a long year of waiting for this event to happen. When Jeanette called me up and said, hey, do you want to partner up and fulfill my dream and make this happen? It's like, oh, absolutely, because it lines up with my core beliefs big time. So I'm so excited. We've got people here today from Belgium, from the Asian countries, Australia, United States and Canada, of course, and many of our own respective friends and colleagues are online as well today. So thank you very much for all of you for joining us today. We're truly reaching out to the world, and that is our goal with our whole Gratitude and Appreciation Summit. And it excites us to have an opportunity to share wisdom with one another, to one another, and for ourselves. And that's really what the core belief is of our Appreciation and Gratitude Summit. Our main event is actually on October 3rd, and we'll give more details about that later on in this live video chat. But it came about through the book, as Jeanette mentioned, from our CEO of Send Out Cards, Cody Bateman, who goes around doing promptings academies and teaching people how to act upon their promptings. Totally lined up with what we need in the world now more than ever. We need more kindness. We need more kindness in the world. We need more gratitude. We need more, let's stop and breathe and really take in what we're thankful for. But the big message that we have with our summit, and I've shared this with many of you that are on this morning, is how do you show up every day in gratitude and appreciation to your business, to people that you transaction with every day in your business and in your lives? How do you show up every day with one another in your family, your friends, your colleagues? And more importantly, how do you show up in gratitude and appreciation to yourself? We, especially as mothers, but many of us get so wrapped up in our daily practice that we forget to say, hey, let's look within ourselves. And how can we appreciate what we have? Some mornings I wake up and I'm grateful that I can see, as plain as day, that I can see our baby woodpeckers in our backyard being fed and being born. True, we were watching them last night again, being fed. Can't wait to watch them fly. So that is really our message with our summit. And we have, I want to just give you a quote that I came across this morning, actually, from Amelia Earhart. And we talk about gratitude and appreciation. Quite often, they come together like this. They're actually two separate things. Gratitude is the emotion, but the appreciation is the action. And our whole purpose of our summit main event on October 3rd is to share the difference in how that can be done. So Amelia Earhart, which we all know, very famous historical influencer in our lives, she says, no kind action ever stops with itself. One kind action leads to another. Good example is followed. A single act of kindness throws out roots in all directions, and the roots spring up and make new trees. The greatest work that kindness does to others is that it makes them kind themselves. I think that is hugely important. We need to show that kindness and be grateful for one another. We quite often say, Jeanette and I were just talking about this last night, and that's getting rid of the word sorry. Us Canadians, we're terrible with that. We say sorry way too much, myself included. I catch myself all the time. But rather than saying, I'm sorry I'm late, but thank you for waiting, just say, thank you for waiting for me. Don't be sorry about it. Things happen, right? There's many examples that we can come up with that. So that is basically what our mission is, to take this message around the world. And if any of you that are on today would like us to come to your area and present an event like this, please let us know. We already have some feelers out there in a number of different places, and we haven't even launched yet, because I think there is a need and a desire from humanity to bring this to the forefront. So that's our vision. We have a number of different guests that are coming on that I'll talk about a little later. But I would like to introduce another very influential speaker. And that speaker is Angus Reid. And we're thrilled to have him. He's local. He is a retired BC Lions football player. And we are so, so thrilled to have him on today. And you'll hear more from both Cheryl and Angus on our October 3rd event. This is just a preview show. So Angus is a former professional football player who now travels North America speaking to companies, schools, and teams on what it really takes to make it and win. He has 2 highly successful TED Talks and just recently released his first book, Thank You, Coach, which has already become an Amazon bestseller. And I actually ordered it this morning, Angus. I can't wait to get it in the mail. And we have a special surprise on that a little later as well. So welcome, Angus, for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. And thank you, everyone, for taking your time this Saturday to talk about something that has always been needed, but is probably needed more now than any other time in the history of our lifetime. And that is making gratitude at the forefront of your emotional mindset, of using gratitude to center your focus and remember the things that matter most. And I look back on my life and I can't help but think I'm the luckiest person in the world. I'm one of those rare people that got to live my childhood dream. I became a professional athlete, and I don't know too many young people that at one moment in their life wouldn't love to do that. And I pursued it, and I was able to fulfill that childhood dream. And I did it for 13 years, which made that accomplishment extremely rare. And it's interesting, I think we can all agree, when you are pursuing your dream and your goal, a lot of times you get very focused on yourself and what you need to do. And you put those blinders on because you have to. You have to block out everything else and stay focused on what you need to do on a daily basis. And sometimes it can get easy to get consumed with yourself. And you start, or you maybe don't realize all the help and all the support because you are just going at it and you believe that you're the one willing this to happen. And what happened is you get a little bit older through your career and you get a little more comfortable with who you are. You're able to pull back and start looking at yourself and at your life. And then it becomes obvious that you, or all of us, are simply a result of the countless people that have shown love and support and care and understanding at every moment along the way that has allowed us to do the things that we love to do. We are all a result of all the people that we have interacted with and continue to interact with in our lives. And I only have a few minutes to share with you today, but this could be a lifetime talk because you look back and you realize everything that's good in my life is a result of someone else. And it started with my parents and my family, my brothers, but as I got to the pro level, I got introduced to coaches and mentors, and one particular who I wrote a whole book about that shaped my life well beyond coaching me how to play football. And he became the man that taught me how to live and how to be an adult and how to be somebody that brings your best to the world around you. And I'll tell you a quick story where when I first started playing pro, I was nervous. I'd made it to the top, but as anyone can think of, when you make it very high level of your long-time dream you've worked to, and now it's time to make or break it, it's a scary moment. And here we were playing my first nationally televised game in 2003 in Saskatchewan on the road as the starting center for our BC Lions. And I'm terrified. And I wake up at like 5 o'clock that morning on game day, and I'm just nervous that I'm going to screw up, blow it, and I'm going to ruin my dream, and it's all going to go away. And I remember seeing in my hotel room under the door a partial envelope slipped under the door. I remember thinking, we're not checking out today, so this cannot be the hotel checkout. And I see it as a BC Lions logoed letterhead. And then, as we often do, we think the worst. And all I could think of was, I'm getting cut. This is the pink slip. They're getting rid of me. And I did what most of us do with letters we don't want to open. You grab it and you run to the washroom and you hold it. You hope it goes away. You hope it goes away. And it never does. And you eventually have to open that envelope and face the worst case reality that you've constructed in your brain. But it wasn't that at all. With this one moving. It was a letter. It was a letter from my coach. And if you can't read it, I'll read it to you today. It had a quote from a professional football player, and every letter afterwards had one. But it simply read, Angus, I want to let you know how proud I am of you. The work you have put in this offseason has been nothing short of tremendous. You are ready for this. I feel so lucky you are out there leading us today. He felt lucky that I was out there leading us today. Now I'm a professional athlete. This is my job. This is what I get paid to do. But deep down, we're all children with our insecurities, our fears, our worries that we're never going to be good enough, that we're never going to be accepted. And we're always terrified that we're going to get exposed for the fraud we think we are. And here is my coach putting me at ease, letting me know he appreciates me. He is grateful for everything I've done and everything I am. And I can't tell you as a 25-year-old man how that filled my heart with comfort and joy and confidence that I could just go out and be, because the people that I care about me. And this simple 3-cent piece of paper was validation to me beyond a shadow of a doubt, and removed any interpretation of me wondering, does someone care about me? I wonder if he likes me. I wonder if he thinks I'm good enough. He told me without any confusion, any room for misinterpretation, that I'm cared about, that he believes in me, and that I'm the right person and I'm going to do great. That letter right there changed my life. And I can tell you what happened from that moment on. If I can get this moving, what happened from this moment on was a consistency ritual that, whoop, want to go back? Uh-oh. Can we go back? Can you go back? One more? One more, please. Thank you. What Coach Dan ended up doing was writing me and every one of his other players a letter every single game for the rest of my career. I have 218 of these at home. I look at them often. Every single week, there was a distinct reminder of why I'm good enough, why he cares about me, and why he is grateful that I'm working with him and I'm his player. The power in these letters I can't overstate. I mean, here I am, a professional athlete playing in front of thousands of people, being watched by millions of people, and I'm supposed to be this ultra confident person. But these were things that anchored me and reminded me on a weekly basis that I'm good enough, that I matter, that he cares about me. And I can go into details about Dan, about all the in-person gratitude things that I'd learned from him, about being present, about giving me all of him in every moment, the eye contact, the questions that he actually wanted to hear the answers from, so he could learn more about me, so he could help me greater by understanding more of who I was. He didn't coach to tell me, he coached to help me. It's a big difference. And now that I'm a parent, I'm trying to bring that into my life with my children. I'm not trying to tell, I'm trying to learn so I can help. And it's funny with this letter practice because I thought back to great coaches I had had before my professional level, and all the way back to high school, and my very, very first mentor, who, if I can get the next one, there we go, a man named Coach Howie, who is still like a second father to me. And I remembered, I dug out an old box and I remember he wrote me letters. This is 1994. I still have them all. And these were reminders that he cared about me, what a great person I'm becoming. And I'm 16, 17 years old. And these were just small reminders that I'm doing well. He's proud of me. And he can't wait to watch my life unfold. These are little papers of gold that I've kept my whole life as appreciation notes that I can do what I think I can do. And now that I am an adult, I'm finished my career in terms of my childhood dream, and I have children of my own and people of my own. And what I was able to do with what I'd learned was take this now and start giving it all back. And you look at why we do things. Everybody has different reasons. These two right here are mine. These are my two boys, Brooks and Taylor, 4 and 1. I look at them every single day, and they are my reminder, one, what I'm grateful for, but two, the responsibility I have to shower them with the appropriate teaching, education, love, and gratitude that so many important people in my life gave to me, which anchored me and armored me with my ability to maximize who I am as a person. And I learned this a long time ago, and the sport of football gave it to me. But we as people, no matter what age we are or where we're at in our life, we always need 3 things. We need to know we belong. People need to know they belong. And we need to know we belong a lot more than just getting the t-shirt or being allowed to show up and hang out with the group. We need to know that we're valued. We need to know that we're bringing something that matters, that's helping the arena we're in. We need to know that someone believes in us. We need that. And ideally, someone that isn't our parents. Ideally, someone that doesn't have to. A third-party person that's been brought into our life that believes in us because they see something special. And finally, we need to know we can. We need that confidence that we can attack the unknown or the uncertainty, and we can do it. And here we are needing that. And I needed it when I was 14 years old, and the sport of football gave me that, a place where I could bring value to the group. I had coaches that showed me via letters and actions they believed in me. And the sport allowed me to prove to myself that I could through coaching and mentoring. And I could take that into life. And here I am now able to be in a position, as my mother always told me, if I was ever in a position where people will listen to you, say something that matters. And here I am with 2 young boys that they listen to you sometimes, but you hope. And we all have people now that will listen to us. We're influential in so many areas of our life, and we have to ask ourselves, what are we doing with that privilege, with that platform? And are we installing in the people that are listening to us an added belief that they belong, that we believe in them, and helping them show that they can? That, to me, is the greatest paying forward actions that we can do for people on a daily, frequent, consistent, never-ending basis. And the more people you can impact and empower with those 3 necessities in life, the more you can spread in this world people that can maximize who they are. And now you become someone that realizes life is not about fulfilling your childhood dream. It's about using whatever leverage you've been lucky or privileged enough to have and being grateful enough to use that to help as many people as needed to realize that they can, that they belong, and that people care about them. And to me, that is the greatest dream to ever live in your life. And that is a true measure of success. If you can take whoever you are, whatever avenue you're in, and give these things to other people, that is the greatest way you can thank others, by helping others. And you're always paying forward. I don't like saying paying back because everything moves forward in life, but you're paying forward all the good fortune that people have showered on you by reminding the next generation, the people you interact with, all the great things that they can do in life and that you're behind them too. See, I always thought great lessons are useless great lessons are useless if all they do is help you. They need to be now moved forward and passed on to help the next generation, or else they end with you. And that's a sad, sad reality that does happen. And I look at my sports life, and it was all geared around daily reminders and daily actions and daily doses of exercise, nutrition, film, and study. And you're never quite done, but you have to do it every day, and it becomes habitual if you want to become the person you're trying to become. And once I started realizing that my career, my life was built on the help and support of everyone else, I got overwhelmed by this need to start thanking them. And then realizing you thank them by paying it forward. But just like training, and I wanted to become a pro athlete, and you have to be fit and strong. Wanting is never enough. Doing is what is required. And you need to install the habits. And to install the habits, you need to have sort of daily reminders to do the actions that matter. And it becomes who you are. So this whole gratitude reality became something I had to build into my daily actions. And I'll tell you, if there's parents out there, something that I started doing about a year and a half ago when my youngest was born, is I had to make sure that they will know that they belong, that I believe in them, and that they can. And they need to know that, because I don't know what will happen in my life tomorrow or the next day or moving forward, but they need to know this. They need to be armed with that reality so they can go face this world. And so I can't predict tomorrow, but I can work today. So I opened email accounts for both of them. I set up their names and I set them up. And I would say at least, I try not to let 2 days go by without emailing them. And sometimes they're pictures of what we did today, drawings they did. I mean, they're 4 years old, a year and a half. And sometimes they're just things that we're up to today, so they have a chronicle of their life. But in every single email, I have reminders that they're loved, that they can do whatever they're willing to put their heart and soul into, and that they belong in this world. And I believe that the way Coach Dan wrote me a letter every single week so I could never forget, I write them so many emails that when the time comes, when they're 20 years old or 25, and I decide, you know what, let's send this off and let them do what they can, they're going to have thousands of reminders from their father that they belong. So they don't have to question that, because there will be so much repetition of that messaging that they can't say, I think I was told that once. You hammer them with gratitude. You hammer them with love. You hammer them with praise so they can never forget. Because people cannot, gratitude and love is the one thing you cannot overdo in this world. You can overdo a lot of things. You cannot overdo this. And I shower them with as much as I can, because even God forbid one day I'm not here and they're not old enough to be strong enough on their own. They will have anchored reminders in an abundance that they can. Dad loves them, and I'm proud of them. And they will have that ability to move forward. And so I take that into my children. It's a nice little thing that tears me up once in a while, but it centers me every morning. I try to write them about 5:36 in the morning before anyone's up, quiet time, little messages, let them know so they have that. And it fills me with a reminder that life isn't about me. It's how can I help the people that need my help? And these are 2 young children I know. And then I can carry that momentum into the rest of my day onto everyone else I interact with, because I'm already centered and anchored with a mindset of caring about somebody else, and particularly people that need it, because I'm strong enough in a position now because of all the people that gave it to me. so I can help others. And I'm going to finish with my daily checklist. If we can get me to the next list here, this is what I look, here we go. So then I either get the phone out, or I get the pen out, or I get the phone out to email, or I get the phone out to call, or I get the pen out, and I vary it depending on who it is and how I'm feeling, and I try to run through each of these. So these are my 4 questions I ask myself every single day. Who can I thank? I mean, this is a never-ending question. I can do it every day, and I do it every day. Who can I thank? Who can I thank for being nice to me yesterday? Or is it my parents again for being amazing? Or one of my older brothers? Or a coach that coached me 20 years ago? Or just the person at Starbucks that was really nice to me yesterday when I got my coffee? Who can I thank? And whatever's appropriate to do it in that way, just do it. Who can I acknowledge for being great? I'm not thanking them for something they did for me, just reminding them that they're great. And sometimes it's a simple text. Hey, I haven't talked to you in a while, but I just want to let you know, I think you're amazing. And I leave it at that. I don't want anything, and I'm not directly thanking for anything. I'm just reminding them they're great. Who can I offer help to? This one I think is gold. If you work in an office, or you work with other people, or you're just thinking, reach out and ask, what can I take off your plate today? How can I help you with what you're up to? And maybe you specifically know, or maybe it's an open-ended question, but every day I ask myself, reach out to someone and go, what can I help take off your plate? And finally, who can I reach out to? Friends from high school that I don't know where they're at anymore, but I still have their number. 15 years, I haven't talked to them. Are you okay? It's been a long time. Just want to make sure things are good. I'd love to connect. And to me, it's a way of getting out of my own head, to stop thinking about how can I get more of what I want in this life, and how can I spread more of the love that's been injected into me from so many people, and make sure I'm paying it forward in multiple different ways. And again, this is just 4 ways that I look at it to keep different perspectives, so I'm not always writing a thank you note, which is can't go wrong. But Coach Dan reminded me, he wasn't thanking me for something that was done. He was giving me a weekly reminder that I'm good enough, and he believes in me and that I can. And that was probably the greatest gratitude I could ever think of, because it wasn't thanking me for an action. It was empowering me to be better at an action I was about to do, armed with belief. So this is my daily check-in. There's no right or wrong to it, but I found this gives me a nice way of guaranteeing that I'm going to probably reach out to 4 different people, and it's going to make me review my life. Because who can I reach out to? It's a nice reflection on their past. Who can I thank? That's usually someone from yesterday that's been recently done something. Who can I acknowledge for being great? That's open-ended. Who can I offer help to, I think, is one of the great ways, though, to anchor yourself and going, how can I be of service to somebody else today? Instead of how can I get other people to help me? And these are the ways that I show external gratitude on a daily basis. And it helps keep me anchored. It helps keep me linked in the right direction. And then I feel free to go out and go after the tasks that I need to achieve that day, knowing that I haven't forgotten that I'm standing on the shoulder of giants like we all are. And we need to acknowledge them, we need to thank them, we need to reach out to them, and we need to help them. And we're all in this together. No one's winning this world, no one's winning this battle of life by themselves, and we can never forget that fact. And I think there's nobody out there that would argue there's nothing wrong with doing great things with your life. In fact, I think we all should. I think we are doing ourselves and everyone around us a disservice if we don't live the great example of what can be accomplished if you put your heart and soul into something. But never for a moment, or at least for a day, should you let it pass by without getting out of your own personal achievements and reaching out and thanking and helping and reminding everyone else that they can too, they are doing it too, and that you're here to help. And that's what makes life really living. And that's what makes your accomplishments worthwhile. And that, to me, makes me a father that I hope my children will emulate and want to be like. And they are the ultimate check-in for me. When I look them in the eyes and I go, they're going to be just like I am. So what am I doing? Because I know how I want them to be. And it's going to be exactly what I'm doing. So I better live right. And there's no better way than doing everything you can to remind others, to help others, and to thank others. And that's how I anchor everything I do. And that's the way I go about my daily activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Angus. Oh my goodness, you guys, I never knew I was going to be crying all morning. No, that was amazing. I have a 19 and 21-year-old, and they both still live at home, and I go in there every night, give them a kiss and a hug good night. Some of my friends are like, seriously? Like, they still let you do that? I'm like, no, they'll be yelling from their bedroom, Mom, are you coming to say good night? Like, it's just, it's awesome, and I love it. So never want it to stop. And that emailing thing is great, Angus. Like, what a great idea. Just, your kids will so appreciate that later. That's amazing. Now at this time, we're going to open up the chat room. We've got some questions for you guys. I'm going to start off with one for Cheryl. Just so if you guys do have any, we'll try to get through about, as many as we can here. So if you do have any questions, just kind of type it in the chat room there. One for Cheryl to start off. How do you share and own gratitude on a daily basis?
Well, I always start first thing in the morning with myself. First thing in the morning, actually even before I open up my eyes, I always say, I'm so grateful for the future blessings I'm about to receive. And I'm so grateful for the past blessings that I received. So I always start with myself first, just to check in with myself so that I can continue on and share it with everybody. And many people that know me and that see me at my resilient events know that, oh gosh, the energy I have in my heart just comes out. And that's what I've learned in my life too. Did I start this way? No. Do we all start where we are at the moment? No, it takes work. So every moment and every day, the more you think about what you're grateful for, it becomes a habit. Maybe journaling. A lot of people love to journal. That's a huge thing. I journal in my mind versus writing it down. That just works for me for where I am right now. But absolutely, journaling is a huge movement forward that can really propel people into being grateful and gratitude every day of their time. For some, they do a timer on their phone. You do that as well.
Awesome. Thank you. I think it's really how you start off the morning too, right? Just, start off with something good and your day's only going to get better. Okay, how about Angus, if you want to answer this one. I would like to know, with such anger and fighting that is going on, especially in social media, how can we break through that?
That is a great question that I think we're all asking. And I think we're heading in the right direction by doing something like what we're doing right now. Everyone's looking for solutions and for answers, and comes back to what I said. People want to feel they belong, and they're gonna belong to whatever is bringing them in and inviting them in to belong to something. It's traditional gang mentality, and gangs don't have to be bad things, but it's group mentality where people look at what they're being invited to come into, and where's energy, and where are we being appreciated for joining this crowd. And unfortunately, right now, there's so much momentum on anger and emotional rage, and that's easy for people to join in on. That's an easy outlet for humans to jump in on, because everyone has it in them. And if there's large mass saying, yeah, just come and let it out, just come and let it out. And anger is traditionally an easier outlet than love. Anger is more of is very much a reactionary emotion, where love is usually reflect, think, and feel, where anger is react. And so the problem is, without great leadership, organizing activities that give people time and space to reflect and encourage that, people go to what the easier outlet is, and people say, no, don't even think, let's go, let's just be mad, let's just react, let's just get after it. And without, we live in a world where we can unpack this forever, but not everyone has anchored parenting anymore. Not everyone has, at the age of 20, has had 20 years of family discussions on values. We just don't have that across the board. So we have confused people that are full of emotions, that have opportunities now and encouraged and rewarded for let's just let it out. And I think we need so much more leadership from people that have a voice. As my mom said, if people are in a position to listen to you, say something that matters. We need people that have platforms, start using them a little more responsibly. And people that kids look up to. And they have to stop saying, how can I monetize this? And how can I use this to help? And say, no, I'm going to take a stand. And you all are listening to me. It's time we breathe, pause, and start thinking, how can we be of help to each other? Instead of how can we use opportunities to unleash primal rage because that's easy and have excuses and reasons that we did it. And no one's going to blame us because we're all doing it together. We need better leadership. And that's why I was so great to jump on this. We need more of these. We need more opportunities for people to go, oh, you mean I don't have to do that? That's what everyone said. We're supposed to just get mad and rage. Oh, we don't have to do that. Oh, how do I not do that? And we talk about it. You know, as you said, love needs volume turned down, which our world isn't good at anymore. We have 19 apps going and 25 social media feeds going, which feeds anxiety, which leads down the anger, rage response path. We need less volume. We need more space. We need a little more quiet. We need a little more conversation and less yelling. And that's going to take leadership stepping in and saying, this is a better way. And we need that. And it's not, this is what we do, it works. It's a fight. And it's never going to stop, because the second you stop, that noise is always there. It's not one of those volume buttons you turn on and break off. You have to keep pushing it down because it's going to keep ramping up. And we know that. As long as there's extended periods of peace, the noise ramps up and breaks through. You have to keep it down. That's why when I speak about the power of the family meal, and unfortunately not every family has that ability anymore, but if you do, you got to do it. You have that 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour, every single day, not once every 6 months, to turn the volume down, to talk, to remind. So it's like, oh man, I've been frustrated all day. Turn it down. You got to do it every day. You got to water that grass every day. It doesn't stay green because you watered it once a year. We have to water this grass and never stop.
Oh, that's awesome. My daughter just said to me yesterday, she goes, we've been super busy. You know, we've got some production stuff going on, and she made dinner, and she's like, come and eat. And we're like, yeah, we're coming. She goes, no, we're sitting down and we're eating dinner together. Again, it's like 10, 15 minutes of your time, but we've installed that in our kids' heads, and now they're just reminding us when we get too busy sometimes. It's just, wonderful. That's awesome. Thank you both, you guys. That was amazing. Like, honestly, like I had a box of Kleenex out here. So no, I wasn't expecting that. And it's amazing. We just want to thank everybody else for being here too. There's tons of chat in the group room there, just thanking you guys for being here. We want to get you guys to make sure you're following us on social media if you aren't already, because we're going to have some more updates and great stuff on there leading up to our G.A.S event in October. So now we have a short video for you guys to watch, just to kind of get you pumped up if you aren't already, leading up to our event in October.
We are launching. This is Jeanette Martin, one of the co-founders for the Gratitude and Appreciation Summit. We are so excited. We are launching our Gratitude and Appreciation Speaker Series.
In today's turbulent world with fear and stress and overwhelm in a lot of people, the easiest way to pivot that is to really appreciate what you already have in your life.
There's lots of doing ways that we think about with gratitude, with appreciation, but if we can just think of it as a way of being, it will actually lead the doing.
We are so excited to be presenting these great speakers, including Angus Reid, our very own BC Lions football player.
I think there's nothing more powerful than giving somebody your complete attention, because what matters most is ourselves and the people we correspond with and the moment in time that is right now. your complete undivided attention may be the greatest form of gratitude and appreciation that you can do.
We've got Charmaine Hammond.
But I find that being a champion for people and expressing gratitude for people that I appreciate in my world, it just kind of creates that domino effect of gratitude and appreciation.
Cheryl Bishop.
When I live in that faith and gratitude for people, my life has become so much easier. I had to learn how to do that.
Chloe Thompson.
I'm 13 years old and I have my own nonprofit where I make tote-like bags and I fill them with bare necessity items and I pass them out to homeless women.
It's going to be an incredible journey as these speakers share their stories on why gratitude and appreciation has helped their business.
Keep your eyes peeled. We're excited to have you with us.
Lori, your microphone's on mute. Oh, hello everyone.
Oh, wow.
Back to me. And wow, wasn't that an inspiring hour learning about gratitude and appreciation from Kathy's story, the other co-founder, to Angus Reid's story. I listened to Angus Reid about 6 months ago at a function and went, wow, he needs to be part of this. To Cheryl Bishop on how her heart is at her foundation as well. My quote that I like to say is, God made us of matter so we can matter to someone else. So the following sponsors on the next slide stepped up and showed that they wanted to use their matter to help us put this Gratitude and Appreciation Summit on. So we are so grateful to these particular companies and businesses that have helped us up to this point and are helping us going forward. I also encourage you at the end of this, if you want to take a screenshot of when we come together and put it out on your social media, we will be so appreciative, and use either tag gratitude and appreciation, or you can use the hashtag G.A.S Summit. That's GASUMMIT. Thank you so much for being part of it. And we are going around the world and look forward to us in your neck of the woods.
Kathy, are you coming on?
Sorry, yep, my mute was on. You know, these live events, what do you do? So we also have a number of charities that we are giving back to. So we are all about giving back to our community, and these are just some of the charities that have stepped on board. 20% of our registration fee for October 3rd, 20% of it goes straight back into these charities. We are not in this for a profit. We are in this for educating and for sharing and for knowledge and for giving back to our community. So you can take a look at those charities. They are all online on our website, which is gassummit.ca, GAS1S Summit.ca. And we are covering a lot of different areas in my community and in Jeanette's community and in some of our sponsors' community. So we're really excited to be giving back to these charities that are doing such great things. And these are all nonprofit and much smaller charities that you may or may not be aware of. So on the next, I have a big, no, we'll go to the next slide first. The next slide is, I'm trying to remember. Is there another slide? Yay! So on October 3rd, these are just some of our speakers. This is not all of them. We have a number of speakers that have committed. There's Chloe Thompson right in the middle. She actually was the winner of the George W. Bush Senior Humanitarian Award last year. She's from the United States. We have a guest speaker from Belgium coming. So we are truly international, as we mentioned before at the beginning of this. And we are reaching out, and I noticed a couple people that have mentioned that they might like to get involved. We are still taking people, and it may not be for October 3rd, but certainly for a future one, because this is only the beginning, folks. We're so excited. So I want to just do a quick draw. I had Laura and Sharon that helped us organize from Imagine That Events. They have been absolutely instrumental in putting this event together. They took all of our brainstorming from Jeanette and I, which was rather scattered and varied, and has morphed into many different areas. Yes, Jeanette. But we'd like to give away some books. So they have drawn 2 people. One of our speakers is Diane Rolston, and she's written a few books. She's the CEO and founder of Dynamic Women, and she's a life coach and business coach. And you, our winner is, I wrote it down and I've lost it. Da, 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 da. Oh my goodness, I lost it. Last name is, oh my goodness, help me, Sharon.
Sharon, unmute.
Thanks.
Santa.
Yes.
Santa is the last name. Santa Chow. There we go. Santa Chow, you're the winner. So you'll be getting this in the mail. And it's basically a day of read. There's 52 authors in the book, and you read one a day each week, or sorry, one each week. And it's inspirational stories from other women in business. And we also have a winner for a free ticket to our next event on October 3rd. And that is going to, Sharon?
That is going to, oh. Did we lose?
You guys messaged these to me and I didn't write them down on the right piece of paper.
It is going to Bradley Lovell.
Yay, Bradley, yay. So you're gonna have a free ticket to our event on October 3rd. Now, everybody that's online right now, you are also going to get a gift. Every one of you is going to get a book called Human Connection by Cody Bateman. Every single person that's online is going to get this book in the library. Now, I know some of you have this book already. Give it to somebody. Give it to a friend, okay? Spread the word. Making that human connection is really key to this whole vision that we have. I would just like to thank everybody from, oh, there are the names. I just found them. I wrote them down. Sorry about that, guys. So the speakers you'll see, I would like to just give a big shout out to Karen, Angus, and Cheryl. You guys have been fabulous this morning. I loved listening to all 3 of you. So much power behind your words. I would also like to give a special thanks to Peter from News Media Syndicate and Justin Booth from Doc Visual Media for putting the video together. And of course, Laura and Sharon from Imagine That Events. Amazing people. We love this team. The team keeps building. We look forward to our future together. And of course, a huge thank you to Jeanette for inviting me to be on this journey with you. You've changed my life, girl. You've changed my life. And I am so
Can we do one of our famous?
So
we go like this. Every meeting we have, I put up my half a heart. Kathy puts up her half a heart, and we go. We also want to make sure we thank Patricia for being our moderator.
Yep, she's my last person. And Patricia, holy cow. I contacted her about a month ago saying, hey, we need someone to do slides. Are you up for it? And she's volunteered her services today to take time out of her busy schedule. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Patricia, for manning the slides and getting us all organized. It's been interesting for me being on the other side. I'm usually the one doing that, but it's been great letting go and having other people take a lead. So thank you, everyone. Now, Laura, you would like to take a photo op, yes?
Yes. Remember, guys, you get your photo, you can get your cameras ready and make sure you take your photo, and we'd love for you to tag it over on social media.
Take a screenshot. Don't use your phone because you'll block your face.
So if you guys, yeah, I see you popping up on video now. So if you have access to video, come on now. Nicole's doing her hair there and everybody's getting ready to look pretty. And maybe we can put our hearts up as well to show our love. I'll give everybody.
Angus, can you come back on screen, please?
if he's there. Oh, perfect. Everybody's coming. Yay. All right.
We need Angus on screen.
He had to leave.
Okay.
I would imagine it's probably his children. All right. Okay, everybody's showing me the love. I'm gonna just take one here. Okay. And I'm gonna take another one on my phone too.
Oh, that's a good one.
Awesome.
And is there a second page? Do the second page too, Laura? Did you do that?
I think I got my screen. I've got everybody. I think I got everyone.
There's 2 pages, right?
Let's take one more. One more. Great.
Everyone smile.
Thank you, you guys.
So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. And we've gone a little, we're under our 2-hour limit, which is great. And we look forward to seeing you all on October 3rd. Thank you so, so much. Check out the website. You'll see some details on some of our guest speakers. We'll be updating it and moving it forward. And there's a video there as well. And thank you for helping us make our dream come true today.
Thank you.
Thank you, you guys.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your weekend.
Go do Angus's list.
Yeah, that's right.
Bye for now, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. We're slowly shrinking.
It's just so great seeing everybody.
What an incredible event.
Oh, that was awesome. That went great.
Just amazing.
Yep, people are looking forward to October. I'm just reading a bunch of the notes.
Patricia, I think you can stop recording now, please.